Hello and welcome, I'm Monocommander, and here we talk about Magic the Gathering and the EDH format. As a reminder, I'm a French content creator, and I'm making French videos about EDH. You can check out them on my playlist, and I'm willing to do some more English version of my videos for the non-French speaker. On today's video, after a short Christmas break, I'm looking back at 2021, which was a pretty dense year for the format, with new cards that become quickly staples for me. What is a staple? A staple is a card I'm putting in every deck of the color, or at least most of them, and which will not be cut out of the list before I found the final iteration of the deck, at least 9 times out of 10. Most of the time, there are versatile cards that fit into any strategies. These cards are not my favorite of the year, but cards that I played the most since the beginning of this year. And without further ado, let's jump into my top 16 of the new staples for me. Starting 16th, last for this top because it's a 2-colored card and fits into less decks, Damn is a new strong removal which can destroy 1 creature for 2 black or has a wrath effect for 2 and 2 white. Its color intensive mana value made him number 16, but it's a strong card playable in both 2 and 3 color decks for me. At number 15, Vanishing Verse is also a removal, but instant speed for 2 mana. It takes care of all monocolored permanent, a large amount of the threat of the format. It has become one of my favorite removal in Orzhov. At number 14, on the same line of versatility and removal, Rip Apart in Boros colors takes care of a 2 mana of enchantment, artifact, or can deal 3 damage to a creature or planeswalker. Hitting more targets, it has the con of being a sorcery speed, but it's still a strong card for its Boros cost. Number 13 is Culling Ritual, one of the new wraths that kills all non-land permanent with mana value 2 or less, a big chunk of the ramp in the format. Then it adds a green or black mana for each permanent destroyed this way, making it sometimes free, or even better, ramping you for maybe 3 or 4 mana for return when you cast it, and slowing down your opponent. As for my playgroup, is a really strong staple in Golgari. Sitting at number 12, another 2-colored card for the bottom of this top, King's Narfi Betrayal is a Zimmer saga that I love. In multiplayer, for only 3 mana, you will take the best card from each player in either their graveyard or the top 4 cards of their library, including you, and you can cast them for the next 2 turns. In addition of being graveyard hate at sorcery speed, the card advantage and the card quality you'll get out of it is really strong. At number 11, time for monocolored cards, Break Die is one of my new favorite removal spell. For 3, a bit costly but at instant speed, you can destroy an artifact, or an enchantment, or even exile a card from a graveyard, which is some nice versatility. You can also, for 1 white mana, discarding it, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature, which really makes this card fits anywhere. At number 10, Cathartic Pyre is a red removal spell, reminding me a Braid, which kills a small creature, or can you make discard up to 2 cards to draw the same amount, making it always a playable card. I'm including it really easily on 1, 2, 3, and sometimes 4 color decks. At number 9, keep going in the removal train, Dread of Purification is an excellent political card, which at worst is a 4 mana Reclamation Sage, but at most can destroy up to 4 targets. I really love this political card that are good even if the table is not cooperating, and the Druid is perfect for that. At number 8, going to the range of Graveyard 8, we have Endurance. Endurance sticks in all my 1, 2 and 3 color decks with green, which is a lot. You have the choice of shuffling your graveyard or one of your opponent's graveyard if they are playing a little too much with it, and you can do this at instant speed on a creature body, and that matters for green synergy. It's a strong hate tool with a good body for really cheap mana cost, and if you have this card in your collection, just try it out, it works out very well for me. At number 7, Cemetery Prowler, another graveyard hate, matched with a big body. For a small amount of mana, can also ramp you and can exile card every turn to disrupt your opponents. And that's number 6, even better, Cemetery Illuminator can't accelerate you with cost reductions, but instead lets you play cards from the top of your library and attacks even easier than the Prowler to repeat its hate effect thanks to flying. These 2 cards are the strongest of the cycle because they have impactful effects for you, added with a cheap and repeatable graveyard hate. Going now to the top 5 of the cards that fit into most of my decks, including a lot of personal choices that will maybe not fit your playstyle, but for me they are the best of the year. Taking the 5th place, Cosmic Intervention is a strong protection spell that costs 4 at instant speed, but can also cost only 2 and protect itself with its Foretell ability, making it accessible at any time. Once you've played it, you're getting back all your permanents that goes to the graveyard this turn, making it, in my opinion, a stronger anti-wrath option than Heroic Intervention, because not only they will come back untapped, but they also will trigger again, all they enter the battlefield abilities. At number 4, Chef's Kiss is a spell I play a ton in mono-red decks, and I have 5 of them, and even in 2-color decks with red, which are nearly half of my entire deck pools, explaining its rank in this list. In addition of changing the target of a spell, you may also copy it. The chaotic aspect of the spell is not really a downside, and adds a little more fun to the spell in my opinion, granting much value. At number 3, staying in red, but with a card I'm playing easily in 3, 4 or even 5 color decks, is Radiant Performer, echoing one of my favorite spells, Radiate. This creature can copy a spell on all its available targets on the field, turning into a mass removal spell or mass value engine, even if you are not playing the spell yourself. If you've never played those cards, I really recommend them. They are fun, strong, and always perform more than expected. Taking the second place, Wandering Archaic is the card that goes in any deck, and making the cut in easily 75% of my decks. You'll tax your opponent anytime they cast an instant or sorcery spell, and gaining a copy of that spell if they are not paying the tax. Add a little protection spells, and you have an unstoppable value engine for a little investment. And finally, on the first place, Liquimetal Torque, yes, an uncommon, takes its crown easily. For 2, it's a mana rogue that produces colorless, which fits into most of the decks, and its second ability, transforming any permanent into an artifact for a turn, is underrated and so powerful. All your artifact removal are now permanent removal, all your artifact synergy are now applying to your non-artifact cards, and so on, making it good for any strategies. You can also politic with other players to transform their artifact removal into permanent removal, and you can combine it with other cards like Karn's Silver Golem to transform anything into a creature, making them even easier to get rid of, even in mono-black decks, for example. Do me a favor, play more Liquimetal Torque. And that's it for today's video. I hope you liked it. Tell me in the comment which of those cards you are also playing in a lot of your decks. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to the channel if you liked it. Wishing you a happy new year. That was Monocommander. Bye.